And we begin this morning with our latest, the first in our local stories. First batch of step workers now regularize. This from the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister.
We usually get that only in December and
Only
maybe
in
a little into January. It's happening now.
It's happening. Thank you. Good things.
Thank you. And Prime Minister Harris praises the people of Phillips's village for restoring their community. This from the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister. In the aftermath of heavy floods in the Phillips's community on Saturday, April 30th, caused by heavy rains and erosion, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris praised the constituents there for their quick response in clearing the debris and generally restoring to normalcy the affected areas. Prime Minister Harris, who is the Member of Parliament for the area, was on the scene early on Saturday, providing leadership, support, and solidarity with the people of Phillips's. Overflowing guts and roads resulted in substantial damages to several homes, furniture, and fencing in the area. 2 retail shops were significantly impacted. Prime Minister Harris was accompanied by Director of Public Works, George Gilbert, and Director of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Abdia Samuel. The government officials conducted an extensive tour of the area and engaged with persons who were affected, and also commended the efforts of the scores of villagers who mobilized and restored the community. That's what you call community coming together.
Community coming together. And I like the fact that they reached out. They went so persons in the community can feel the presence of the government officials and that they care for them. We continue now with story number 3 on the local scene. CPS celebrates 30th anniversary. This from the Nevis pages. On Wednesday, the 29th April, the Charlestown Primary School celebrated its 30th anniversary significantly. There was much to celebrate as it was the day after the school convincingly three-peated at the mega event known as the Gulf Insurance Interprimary Sports Meet, aka the Mini Olympics. Headmistress of the school, Mistress Cheryl Haynes, noted that the celebratory activities will be spaced out over a period of 1 month, starting with the anniversary service, slated for Wednesday, 4th May at the Shiloh Baptist Church. The theme this year is CPS at 30, overcoming challenges, building resilience, and sustaining academic excellence. In a brief address, Mistress Haynes stated, and quote, "On this foundation, I join with the student, staff, parents, and the community to give God thanks in recognition of His mercies in bringing us through the past 30 years as we celebrate this anniversary. Our hearts are filled with pride and joy, knowing that in spite of the many unforeseen challenges, with God's help, we have overcome and have obtained many victories, and we continue to strive for excellence in all areas. We encourage the community to support us during our celebrations, and a heartfelt thank you to all past principals, teachers, students, and supporters." End quote.
Good accomplishment.
Good accomplishment, 30 years. Yes. And a three-peater of the Mini Olympics.
Yes, indeed. I like the name, Mini Olympics.
Mini Olympics.
And this from the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, was among the Caribbean leaders who held important bilateral discussions with the Vice President of the United States of America, Her Excellency Kamala Harris, on Friday, April 29th, 2022. Among the issues discussed during Friday's U.S.-Caribbean leaders' virtual meeting included security cooperation, health matters, climate resilience, and energy security, as well as economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Vice President Harris used the occasion to assure the regional leaders that as their neighbor, the United States of America stands ready to assist the Caribbean region. He said, "As a neighbor in the Western Hemisphere, the United States shares a common bond with the nations of the Caribbean. As neighbors, we know that partnership is key to our shared prosperity and security. We also know that we have common challenges, and that is why I've convened this meeting to strengthen our partnership and chart a path forward together." That is, she said. In his remarks now, During the important dialogue, the St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister highlighted the urgent need for economic recovery post-COVID-19. Dr. Harris also emphasized the role of the USA in the empowerment of the Caribbean people through skills enhancement by way of scholarships, bursaries, and grants. So we're getting that direct communication with us. We can speak directly to the Vice President of the USA.
That's good. That means, as they say, we little Bobby Taloa.
Yeah, well, whether or not they listen to us, that's another story.
But at least we try.
There's a communication.
There is communication.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! When you feel it shaking and it's moving around, you see the ocean gone left the fish and the sand. You should run, run, run to hide on a tsunami soon come. Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. They will run, see, Sammy?
When you feel the earth shaking and it's moving all around, you see the ocean gone left the fish on the sand. You should run, run, run to higher ground, 'cause tsunami soon come.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
We now continue with the latest in regional news. Governor urges calm after BVI Premier arrested on drug rap. This from CMC. British Virgin Islands Governor John Rankin has urged citizens to remain calm following the arrest of Premier Andrew Foy in the United States on conspiracy to import cocaine and money laundering charges. Rankin said that he would indicate the next steps forward on this urgent issue. In the meantime, Deputy Premier Natalia Wheatley, who had been acting as Premier of the British Overseas Territory in the absence of Foy, who was in Miami to attend Seatrade Cruise Global, the largest cruise industry gathering in the world, will continue to do so. Rankin said in a statement, I quote, "I realize this will be shocking news for the people of the territory, and I would call for calm at this time. End of quote. This, he stated after Foy and BVI Ports Authority Managing Director Olene Vine Maynard were detained by Drug Enforcement Administration DEA agents at a Miami airport. The Miami Herald reported that the government officials were arrested when they met with two undercover DEA agents who were pretending to be members of a Mexican Sinaloa cartel. And it continues because we had a brief indication as to that happening, but now I guess it's affecting the territory itself, the British Overseas Territory.
I hope all the leaders take heed and don't just drop into anything, because it's one after the other, if you realize. Because we reported on the Honduras previous president being arrested and taken to the U.S. and now
And all this
it
work.
has arrived in our region.
But then again, it's who can hide it the best. That's all I say on that matter.
Alrighty, so we will continue with our international news. This is from BBC. Dozens of civilians have been evacuated from Mariupol to both Russia-controlled and Ukraine-controlled territory after weeks under siege. Some have left the Azovstal steelworks, the last holdout of Ukrainian troops in the strategically significant city. Russia said dozens of civilians have arrived in a village it controls. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said a large group is also on its way to Zaporizhia, which Ukraine maintains control of. And quote, the first group of about 100 people is already heading to the control area. He tweeted, tomorrow we'll meet in Zaporizhia, grateful to our theme. Now they together with the UN are working on the evacuation of other civilians from the plant. The United Nations confirmed it was involved with the operations alongside the Red Cross and the parties of the conflict. The evacuation convoy arrived on Saturday morning, the UN said, but did not give details on where people were being taken or how many had left, saying that sharing details could jeopardize the safety of the operation. One of the evacuees to a Russian-held territory told Reuters news agency, and quote, you just can't imagine what we have been through, the terror, end quote. I empathize, I can only imagine, I feel for them. I pray for them every day. I really hope this is over as soon as possible. Somebody has to drop that ego and just said, for humanity's sake, just let's be cordial, let's just get rid of it.
Yes, I really empathize with them. Yes, and we're feeling the effects of it.
We are, definitely, those gas prices. Well, there you have it for the latest for the regional and international news. Stay tuned, we will be right back with Kevin Hope to begin Good Morning SKNs.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever,
cough or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Last Thursday, the 28th April, was World's Day for Safety and Health at Work. Traditionally, this day intends to promote the prevention of occupational accidents and diseases. Additionally, it aims to create a safe and healthy culture that can help reduce the number of work-related deaths and injuries. Kevin Hope, the Executive Director of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce, is here to give us some insight as to what World Day of Safety and Health at Work entails. Kevin also drew to the fore that mental health is an important component of occupational health and safety. Let's begin from that aspect. Good morning, Kevin, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, and thanks for the invitation.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so
pampered and doing well by your quality.
Yes, we're happy.
That's good to hear. So we'll dive into the meat of things. Why is it important for the workplace to consider their employees' mental health, and why do they think it is often put on the back burner? And why do you think, it's often put on the back burner?
I think, for starters, we should define the narrative. A lot of time when we think of mental health, we think it's a taboo. And in our culture, but regrettably in the Caribbean, in our culture, we fear that anything associated with mental health is a problem, and as a consequence, you're deemed crazy. Whereas mental well-being is important for not only the workplace, for households, for communities. Data shows that at least 1 in 6 person has a mental health problem or challenge. And for the benefit of the audience, mental health is really about your emotional, social well-being, And as simple as depression, as simple as anxiety and eating disorders, all those are symptoms of mental health issues. And as such, if at least 20% of our employees are deemed to be having challenges, why shouldn't it be important to us?
Right. So in other words, if I am feeling depressed and I come to work, it will definitely affect how I work.
Definitely. It would affect your productivity. And we have a responsibility within the private sector to ensure that we care about our people and that we can provide you with all the tools and support that you need to perform and to be most productive.
So how do you identify someone that may be having issues at work, particularly with mental health, depression, as Alicia mentioned, eating disorders?
So I think for starters, any workplace need to create a culture where there can be trust, where employees could feel that they trust and that they're part, and that he or she can speak to our HR, can speak to a subordinate, a superior, a colleague about an issue and feel that they can actually get the support that they need. Case in point, I know in a number of our members, we do have support systems. We have sometimes clinicians, let's say a nurse who may be accessible. We also have areas for which you can be referred to someone to at least discuss the challenges that you're facing. As simply as, take COVID-19, for example, the loss of a loved one. the issue with respect to occupational health and safety, a loss of a limb. And let's say as a man, you're unable to provide for your family, right? And regrettably, that could be emasculating. I mean, especially if you have to face, or even in your, when you're thinking that, how am I going to provide for my kids?
Yes, yes.
Right? So even within the household, I mean, you need to feel you're in an environment where there's trust and encouragement, and you could overcome that depression. And in our society, it's unfortunate that most times we take to the bottle or we take to some hard drugs, and therein lies the problem.
So Kevin, I'm feeling you. These are external factors that we just discussed, but what about in the workplace itself? Are there any factors, maybe activities or things within the workplace that can also affect an individual's mental
stress.
health?
So clearly, there is workplace stress in most environments. A lot of times we're being asked to produce or perform under conditions that are at times that are not ideal. And I think as executive director, as CEOs, as board members, we have a responsibility to ensure that we strike a proper work health or work-life balance. I'm mindful that a number of our members are providing that sort of support and having some flexibility. Sometimes the very nature of the job could be stressful, and as such, we have a responsibility to ensure we provide simple things as support. I mean, the need for persons to take breaks, to socialize, even I guess the ergonomics of the the environment, the chairs you sit on, access to having breaks, coffee breaks, tea breaks, right? Simply socializing with your counterparts sometime in the hallway, depending on the nature of the job you're in, is important. Because you would see the reverse when we went through COVID and we had to work from home. All those things showed up. And even that added to sometimes our depression, in the sense that we're no longer with our work family per se, to socialize, to really, Staff associations in some of our members are important, but you do definitely need that recreation, that exercise, that opportunity to just unwind.
Nice, I really like that. What about in general? How has the SKN-CIC promoted safety and health in general?
So generally, a number of our members, we do have, especially those in manufacturing, we do a lot of education and awareness building, because you could appreciate that these are folks who would be working with machinery, and as a consequence, they would be training. They would actually provide regular training to the members, so that whether in the form of video, whether in the form of face-to-face, so they can see the outcomes of, I guess, shortcomings, in the sense that if you're not paying particular attention to safety issues. There is also safety audits within the workplace. So you would actually have an officer who would be OSHA trained, who would actually go around and do the audits. And we also try to incentivize and encourage members to identify hazards within the workplace, right? And that's important also.
I noticed that SKELEC, they have various activities for their staff. They've been exercising, they're having, I guess, inter-office sports. Is that an idea that you put out to companies?
So definitely, I think, and we have to give credit to companies who recognize that the importance of exercise and engagement is important, because one way of actually onboarding and having persons take ownership in his or her own safety and health is really where firms can really put out or have activities. That's why I spoke about staff associations, where you can have hiking, sometimes even a little domino or picnicking. And more importantly, we recognize now, during living through COVID, the importance of physical exercise. One initiative we are planning with our members is actually to probably have what we're going to brand it T10 cricket. We don't know if we could manage through the 20 overs, but at least have both men and women participate, represent the enterprise, and have fun.
Sounds very exciting.
Very exciting indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We will continue this very interactive discussion with Kevin Hope after this break.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis, you don't know information I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one, one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface or the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mass up furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise, mass up furlough, sanitize, me family fitting boat, and you.
Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
We have been speaking about World Day of Safety and Health with Kevin Hope, the Executive Director of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. And we just concluded, just before the break, discussing the different types of ways in which the SKNCIC has assisted. Let's find out a bit about the SKNCIC a bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Hope, what type of companies are registered with the SKNCIC?
So the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce, we have different members. So we have as sole traders, which would represent more the micro and small enterprises. We would have a number of corporates, like corporation companies, which are more medium to large enterprises. To date, we have a membership of around 132 members. And of interest, which oftentimes is not in the public domain, is that at least 80% of our members are either small and micro enterprises.
Ah, nice. Okay. And how does the SKNCIC facilitate, well, in general, how do you work among your members?
So the beautiful thing about the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce is that we're 73 years old and we've evolved over time. So it's important to note that we represent 18 sectors within the economy, and as such, we are the recognized voice for business. So oftentimes, whether it's the government, international or regional agencies, they would come to us to solicit our insight. We're able to canvass our members to provide sort of knowledge exchange and also contribute to advocacy work here in St. Kitts and Nevis, which is one of our mandates as a chamber. So a chamber is really a membership association of persons of interest, particularly in this case, persons who have an interest in building businesses and also helping to promote prosperity in the Federation.
So for example, among the construction sector, would there be an individual responsible for that area, or are individuals responsible for several areas? How is it divided among those 18 sectors?
So right, so construction would be a sector of which we would have members. Construction, agriculture, two sectors we actually have a work cut out for us in terms of trying to build more members within the space. And the reason being is that those are also two important sectors within our economy. But construction in its own right, if you think of it as, when you think of the value chain for construction, it has as far as architects on one hand to, let's say, those who are providing trucking, engineers, among others. So even within that construction sector, we do have members in different pockets, even in terms of the suppliers of construction material. But it's important, and we see the need and the urgency to actively be building out our membership. And this month in particular, we actually are starting a membership drive, which we're calling 50 and 52, which is to try to attract at least 50 members within the next 52 weeks and to target those sectors that are underserved within the Chamber of Industry and Commerce.
Interesting. Mention two of those sectors that are underserved.
Particularly agriculture. So we've actively been liaising with the Ministry of Agriculture and a number of agro-processors to date, in addition to construction.
Okay, nice.
Does that coincide with the mission of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce?
Definitely. Our mission is to improve the standard and quality of life for our Kittitian and Nevisians. And obviously to do so, because again, the Chamber is, you could think of like the third pillar in our society. So you have civil society and the unions, which would be included in that. You have the government, whether it be the opposition or the incumbent. And then you have the Chamber, the private sector. So to a large extent, we see and we take our role seriously in terms of advocating for economic well-being and prosperity, and also ensuring that we recognize that even a number of our micro, small enterprises are really the entities that are carrying our country. When our country catch a cold, we are the ones who are affected. Think of the COVID-19 pandemic. Immediately we felt the hit in the private sector. And while and it's important to note though, because there are country nuances in St. Kitts and Nevis. So from a labor perspective, it's estimated that the government actually employs around 40 to 45% of our active employees. And as such, you can see there is the need for a partnership. So while yes, we recognize and acknowledge what the government is doing in terms of helping to carry and support the country during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's equally important for that next 55% that there must be ongoing dialogue as to how we can incentivize and improve enterprises to ensure we retain employees, and also to ensure that we are able to meet or work on solving the constraints within the private sector.
Right. And if I could just piggyback on what you just mentioned, COVID also brought to the fore additional entrepreneurs, because persons who were unable to go to their regular employment for someone else, they then started their own business. So is there some sort of drive to maybe incorporate some of these newer persons in the society? You mentioned membership drives.
And I'm happy that you said that. Recently, for example, we would have opened a new Nevis division, and we invested in our infrastructure in the sense of creating more audiovisual and creating space for which entrepreneurs can come and feel at home. And this is not just exclusive to our members. So if there anyone within the private sector, anyone who want to become formalized, we're here to help. We provide business support services. And all of these are benefits also of membership. Notwithstanding, we provide a space, we coach, we connect you with those who are coaching, and we provide a type of mentorship for businesses that they can thrive. So all enterprises who have a genuine interest in becoming a member and or getting that type of support, whether in the Nevis division or in St. Kitts, we're happy to support.
Okay, so maybe you can look into that camera and invite persons to become members. So what do they have to do?
Colleagues, to become a member of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, all you need to do is contact us at 465-2980 or email us at admin@sknchamber.com. We also are located online at www.sknchamber.com, and all the information with respect to members, you can send you can send us an email. You can read a bit more about what the Chamber represents. We're happy to serve you.
Any final question?
No.
Mr. Hope, you've covered it for us.
Well, I'm grateful, and all the best as you continue to make your impact.
Thank you very much, and the same to you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Now, and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed, and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what we at me. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
Every day mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and today we have with us a very special guest, and she's here because next week will be observed as the celebration of Nevis's Nurses Week, and between there we'll also have the annual commemoration of International Nurses Day. To tell us all about Nevis's Nurses Week, we have with us Rodina Moraine Sargent. She's a staff nurse at the Alexandra Hospital and a member of the Nevis Nurses Association. Welcome, Rodina.
Welcome to Good Morning SKN. How are you doing today?
I'm not bad, thank you.
Alrighty. Why is Nevis's Nurses Week observed? What's the objective?
The objective of us observing Nevis's Nurses Week is to promote nurses and nursing, to encourage persons to come into the profession. It's a very noble profession, and to also highlight some of the activities that we are going to be having during Nurses Week as we celebrate International Nurses Day.
Nice.
Can you tell us the theme for this year's celebration and what are some of the activities that we should expect?
Okay, this year our theme is Nurses, a Voice to Lead, Invest in Nursing and Respect Rights to Secure Global Health. And this year Nurses Week commences from the 9th to the 15th of May. We open Nurses Week on May 9th with on the Monday, we'll have a Best Nurses Cap Day competition, and we'll have prizes to be won throughout that day. On the 10th, we are going to have a National Dish Day where nurses from the hospital in Nevis, because we are a variety of nurses. We have nurses from Guyana, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, also from the Philippines. So we are going to be hosting our dishes from each country, and these dishes will be on sale as well. So persons of the community can, join in, come along and see what we have to offer. And then in the evening, from 7 to 10 p.m., we are going to have a domino competition. This is also open to anyone within the Ministry of Health in Nevis. And this will be held at the Gender Affairs Conference Room, just across from the hospital. Then on the 11th, we're going to have a health walk at 5 p.m., where we have the route is going to be from the hospital's parking lot. We go through Ramsbury site, down through Big Rock and over to Four Seasons, and then back to the hospital. Here we have, on that day too, the first 10 persons are going to receive a little token, nothing too big, when they come in. And we also have this open to other departments in health as well. On the 12th of May, that is International Nurses Day, we're here in Nevis, we have our annual T-shirt day that displays the logo for Nurses Week. And in the evening, we have a church service at the Shiloh Baptist Church in Ramsbury site at 7 p.m. On May 13th, we have karaoke night at 5 Trees, where we are going to have best poetry and TikTok dance winners announced. Yes, it's going to be quite fun. And this begins at 7 p.m. as well.
Nice.
This is also too open to anyone in health that would like to join us, and as we celebrate our week. On May 14th, we have our annual awards gala and dinner at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. And this begins at 7 p.m., but this is an invitation-only event. Okay. And then on May 15th, this is where we have our beach cool down at Sunshine's Beach at 2 p.m. All nursing personnel and those also in the ministry bring along their families, and we have a nice pool day on the beach.
Wow, that's a whole lot of activities, Rodina. And who's helping to organize all of this? Because it's yourself as a part of the Nurses Organized Association, but who's helping?
Myself, along with my other committee members, are organizing, and whomever lends a hand in between, we do offer the assistance to get this all taken off.
Right. So let me pull out one of the activities, the Nurses Hat Day. Tell us a bit about that. What can persons coming expect to see?
They will be observing on that day hats since nursing began. The first types of hat that we began wearing, and they display as they evolve throughout the years, and as nursing becomes more modernized, how the uniform has changed.
I was thinking it would have been more bedazzled, different colors. That's what I was thinking when it came to the hat day. So I guess.
Well, not necessarily colors, because nurses usually wear white. That's
white,
yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be a white cap, but from whichever theme or year they choose, they will display that hat, and they will be in full uniform on that day.
I would also like to ask, is there any other activities that you would have added this year that was not in the previous Nurses Week activities?
Well, usually the annual activities that we would mainly have are mostly the walk and the church service and our T-shirt day. The other events, we try to change it so that, each year we have some sort of variety, something else more for persons to look forward to.
Yes, and one of those that I exclaimed at was the one when you mentioned the TikTok activity. Tell us a bit about that, because that is trending at the moment. Everybody is talking about doing this TikTok thing. Tell us about that one.
Well, we came up with the idea of doing a TikTok dance because sometimes, while on TikTok, you see other persons doing, little dances to certain things, but we want persons also to know that not because you're a nurse, that doesn't mean you cannot have fun. So we try to incorporate a little fun activity by doing the TikTok dance, and the winners will be announced later that day.
Nice. Anything that you would look forward to during that week?
For me, I'm looking forward to my health walk. We promote, as nurses, we promote being healthy and staying fit, and I usually take my children along with me.
Very nice.
Well, if I was a nurse, I would have been looking forward to tasting the many dishes. What about that part?
It's also going to be very interesting, because we have nurses from all over in Nevis.
Okay.
Very nice.
So, Nurse Sergeant, we will continue this discussion shortly after this brief commercial break.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies, and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So y'all look me, but me know in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. If you're just joining us, we are speaking about Nurses Week with Rodina Maureen Sargent, staff nurse at the Alexandra Hospital and a member of the Nevis Nurses Association. So, Rodina, speaking as a nurse, what impact would you say this celebration has had on the nursing community in Nevis?
In Nevis, the Nurses Week celebration has brought to light for many persons the noble profession of being a nurse. Also, gains the interest of younger persons who want to become nurses. So as we have our activities and they are able to interact with us and talk with some of us, they can sit down and think about their future and say, okay, I think I want to be a nurse because it's quite interesting, and they have probably had the interest also over the years.
All right, so why would you say that nursing is a caring profession? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but summarize it for us. Why is nursing a caring profession?
Because if you are going to be a nurse, you have to have that drive, that force for wanting to care for someone, wanting to see them at their best after being sick for a period of time. You want to ensure that they are able to be back on their feet and at their best optimal health level after you've been able to care for them.
So, Radina, would you say that's the reason you became a nurse?
No, for me, my reason for being a nurse was a lot more straightforward than that. I can remember when I was younger going to the health centers, and so when I'm going to get my checkup. But back then, for me, I felt like I was amongst them. I felt welcomed. I felt like that was what was for me because all the nurses knew me. So when I come, I'm, comfortable, never cried for an injection or anything like that. So the calling just followed me along through.
And to our viewing audience, I must say, Rodina also informed us during the break that she is just off of work. And I was telling her all morning how bright she looks. So nursing really does suit her. The fact that she's just off from work straight to the interview.
Yes, we can tell that she enjoys her job. And as we just had Kevin Hope, yes, that's one of the critical parts of that, because we know that COVID-19 wasn't easy for the nursing profession among any other health profession, but yes, nurses in particular. So hats off to you, Rodina. You guys are doing a really fantastic job.
And we intend to keep it up.
There you go. So what would you say to persons who are on the fence and are considering becoming a nurse?
Do not hesitate and do not wait. We are welcoming you at any time. Anywhere you see us, you can always stop, ask any questions you wish, and you will be guided as necessary.
All right. That sounds good. So, in closing, invite persons to come to the activities once again first, please.
Okay. So for next week, 9th of May to the 15th, we are inviting each and everyone within the community and health in respect to join the Nevis Nurses Association as we go through our week of activities and have a wonderful time as we celebrate International Nurses Day under the theme, Nurses, a Voice to Lead, invest in nursing and respect the rights to secure global health.
Okay. I did say in closing, but let's backtrack a little bit. There are some of the other activities that we didn't mention during the week. We mentioned the parade day, we mentioned we didn't mention it. We didn't go into detail in the parade day. We went into the hats and we went into the TikTok, but tell us about the parade day. Is there anything not parade, the walk? Is there anything specific, that the nurses would be wearing, or would the general public to be invited to wear anything, a color maybe? Give us a little more detail about that, please.
Okay, well, this year our color for our t-shirt day is rose pink. So if you have anything along that line, you can wear it. But for the nurses in Nevis, we tend to wear our previous Nurses Day t-shirts. So from last year, our color was like a turquoise aquamarine color. So everyone will be wearing and stand out with that color t-shirt from last year.
Okay.
Rodina, why rose pink? What's the significance of the color?
Well, no significance really. We just, each year we have a different color. So we come together and we, put our heads together and we choose a color that is going to be, nice, fitting for the occasion.
Okay, remind us of the theme once again. Maybe we could elaborate a bit on that.
So the theme for Nurses Week is Nurses, a Voice to Lead, invest in nursing and respect rights to secure global health.
Okay. So what are some of the rights of health that you would propose need protecting? Are they protected across the board, or is it something that we all need to take an individual share in?
Well, your rights alone are individualized, because as persons coming into the hospital and being sick, even though we are caring for you, we cannot impose something upon you that you would not wish to have. So we, as nurses and advocates for the patient, we tend to uphold that. So if you are going to receive some treatment and let's say you don't feel like you should have it all, so we give you the right to refuse that medication. And we guide you along, give you information as to why you should or should not, in order to help persons to make the best informed decision about their care.
Nice. I think I'm seeing it clearly now. Also, in terms of the mental health aspect of it, do persons who have mental concerns also have that right to refuse medication?
Yes, they also have that right. But at the end of the day, too, nurses are acting for the best of the patient's interest. So if the medication would be needed in that sense, then, we try to allow them to still think about their decision and make the right choice.
Right. So in other words, we all have our rights, but we also have to look at our own best interests and
Right.
and nurses are there to help us along the way.
Right.
So Radina, it was indeed a pleasure talking to you. I hope this won't be our last conversation, and I hope Nurses Week is a big success in Nevis. If I can come across, I'll come across and join you for the walk, because I love to walk. So
you are most welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you for speaking with us this morning.
Okay.
Do enjoy
thank
the
you
rest
guys
of your
for-
day. You're
most welcome. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We will be right back after these commercials.
So you mentioned something about a lump.
Babe, I just felt something on the left side of your breast. Tell me if you feel it.
Do you do your self-breast examinations monthly?
No, I don't.
Well, women are supposed to examine their breasts once monthly. Let me show you how. When at home, you can check while standing in the shower or while lying down. Simply place a pillow under your right shoulder and your right arm behind your head. Using your left hand, move the pads of your fingers around your right breast, gently covering the entire breast area and armpit. Use light, medium, and firm pressure. Squeeze the nipple and check for discharge and lumps. I did find a lump in the upper left breast. I am not sure what this means. Therefore, I need to refer you to the DMO, or you can see your private physician. The doctor is going to examine you and recommend an ultrasound or a mammogram. Listen, not every lump is cancer. 80 to 85% of the time, the lumps found are benign. That means they are non-cancerous. Lumps in the female breast or armpit can be non-cancerous tissue growth or fluid buildup, or a number of things that can present themselves at various times. But sometimes it's a sign of cancer. That is why I am referring you to see the doctor.
Okay, nurse. Thanks for your help.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time to loosen up. We will be playing a game of Would You Rather. Play along with us and let us know what you would rather. Let's begin. So our first statement, would you rather forget who you were or who everyone else was? Wow.
Forget who I am or who everyone else was.
This is a hard one, I'm thinking.
I think I would rather forget who everyone else was. I like my memories.
Yeah.
I like my memories.
Yeah.
They're not always perfect, but...
Because when you look at persons that may have Alzheimer's, right? I wonder if they wish they can remember who it is that's in front of them. This is me wondering if they wish. But yeah, I would prefer to know myself. But then I would want to know them so they don't, because I'm sure they feel bad when you don't remember them.
Of course.
So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence?
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
You brought up Alzheimer's. It's a terrible disease, but yeah, because you forget everything.
Everything.
Basically. Eventually, gradually, in stages. And you find it happens quite a bit too. People who were previously very intelligent.
Yeah.
Which is
shocking.
a kicker, yeah.
Because they were using their minds all the time. So what does that say? Don't use your mind and you'll be fine?
Well, it brings us back to who we would like to remember.
What?
Ourselves or others. And we have another one. Would you rather climb the highest mountains or swim the deepest seas?
I wonder which one Jamie would say today. I think he would say swim the deepest seas. I would rather climb the mountain. I'm an avid hiker, walker, so I would rather climb. I'm not a fish, and I'm not going to swim the deepest sea, so yeah.
I can't swim. I'm just like Jamie.
Oh, okay.
So definitely
you're climbing too. Okay. So Jamie, I guess you're all climbing. Yeah, we are all climbing.
Yep.
So, would you rather speak to animals or speak 10 foreign languages?
For me?
Ooh.
Definitely animals. Anybody who knows me know that I love animals.
I want to do both.
Definitely speak to animals.
I want to do both, so I wouldn't put a rather here. Because I would love to parlay all the idioms in the world and then still have the ability to have a conversation with the dog. Yeah, and everybody else, including the serpent. Get away.
So yours is not a rather.
That's why I said it's both. So on the fence again. On the fence again.
Yes, I love animals. Would you rather lose all your money or lose all the pictures?
This one is clear for me. Lose all the pictures.
Lose all the money for me.
No, lose all the pictures. I cannot. There are things that, especially with health, when I look around, I see when it comes to health, how sometimes we're ill prepared and health just comes and takes everything that you have. So I would say I can lose all the pictures because I have my memory. Because I've begun taking pictures more frequently before I never used to. So I would say, yeah, lose the pictures. I need the money just in case if I get sick. Yeah, so money
for me, it's the money.
So you lose the money?
Yeah,
you keep the pictures? Okay.
I just mentioned memories a while ago. Yeah, they're very important to me. So money, I would find another way of making more money. I think that would be it for me. I'd make more. But
my reason for keeping the money is should something happen to me, I have the money. Because you see, when something happens to you in terms of health and you don't have money, you see how it turns out, right? So that's my reason.
It's distressing.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so on that, I would rather the money. You, the pictures.
The pictures.
Okay. Oh. So would you rather to have the ability to read the minds of everyone in the world or be able to move objects with your mind?
Can I see that one again? Would I rather have the ability to read the minds of everyone in the world or be able to move objects? I would say the first one.
You want to read the minds?
I want to read the minds.
No, I want to move the objects. That's too many minds to read and I need my mental clarity. I cannot. That's why I always ask people who are counselors, how do they deal with it? Because how do you unpack? That's too much for my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move the objects. Like move the book, yeah.
I'll read the minds, then I would know those persons who are pretending.
Oh, that's your objective.
Give me some insight. Not the only objective, but just to have clarity, because I like to be as real as possible as well. So I shy away from pretense. So if I would be able to have that skill, then I'd know what everybody else is thinking about me.
Oh no, that's too much for me. So I'm moving the objects, yeah. I'm gonna be a superhero. I can't with the mind.
And would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
I will backpedal. I'm passing.
You're
so
passing?
I'm going into the past.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'll know how to prepare for the future, be better educated, especially with how we have all these race issues and all of that. So I know my ancestors is this. We have so many other races. This is what's gonna happen. This is how I prepare myself. So I'll be prepared. Yeah. The great-grandchildren, that's okay.
I'm gonna agree with you, I guess, for different reasons. I want to meet some of the persons who made history. Just to find out how they came up with their decisions, how they decided, say, for example, to experiment with the different types of medical things so that we can have cures for illnesses today. Why penicillin? Different types of stuff like that. Also, I guess I'd also go back to some of the depressing part of it as well, because I would like to get some of that strength that our ancestors, who were enslaved, how did they get through that?
They got through and they got over.
I would just like to have a discussion, because I don't know. I think if I was back in those times, I wouldn't be here.
I already thought I would have been out of hand or run away every day. They probably would have punished me every day. So I couldn't do it.
I would like that sort of strength, just to discuss with them. How did you make it through this? How did you make it through that?
And to prepare
I would like to know.
Ooh, the beginning of the world or the ending? Would you rather experience the beginning? Would you rather experience the world beginning or the ending? Oh my gosh. Do I want to see dinosaurs? Maybe. Yeah. You want the ending?
The ending. How did you guess?
Your face. Your face just said ending.
Yeah, ending.
No. I want to really. How should I put this? I want to see the garden. I want to see Adam and Eve. I want to see dinosaurs. Yeah. So I want to see how it all began. And then we'll know going forward. Yeah, the ending, not yet.
For
the
me,
picture of the ending.
For me, it's the ending, because I think it would be a challenging time, of course, because everything would go upside down.
As we're seeing daily. So maybe we are pedaling.
Well, there you go. So we're actually in the process. So it's like, to see the conclusion would be something magnificent.
I don't know if I would use the word magnificent. Because the conclusion isn't promising to be great to me.
No,
I don't want to see
great.
the end. I want to see the dinos. I want to be like the Fred Flintstones. I want to see all of that. Yeah,
it's definitely not going to be great, and there'll be hardship.
And we are seeing it daily. So, yeah. So what else would we not rather be?
Would you rather chew a raw onion for 10 minutes or 2 raw heads of garlic for 30 minutes? I'm gonna go with the garlic.
Me too. Onions make you cry when you cut it. Imagine, but wait. Maybe I can change my perspective, because the red onions actually taste good.
That's true.
Yeah. But no, the garlic's good, yeah.
I'll go with the garlic because of the health purposes.
Yeah.
I would definitely do well with some healthy stuff. Onions, yeah. And some of them actually sting too.
Yeah.
They have this kind of
the orange one.
Kind of bite to them.
Oh no!
Yeah,
see, I got goosebumps just
with
thinking about. No, no. So, do we have any more ratters? Would you rather have super sensitive taste buds or super sensitive hearing? Super sensitive hearing. End of story. Super sensitive hearing. I want to be. Where's the superhero that hears for? Oh my gosh. Is it Aquaman?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out which superhero I want. Yeah, because or Superman too. He hears, and Supergirl. Yeah, they hear very far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so super hearing. Which one would you want to have?
The same thing.
Super hearing.
Yeah.
We always want to know, and sometimes it's good to not know, because when you don't know, then you're okay. Because when you know, you kind of stress out with the fact that you know what you know.
Mm-hmm. Hearing is just a plus for me too, because I know when things are sneaking up on me too.
Okay.
Or you get an additional advance warnings for other things.
Okay.
So yeah. Hearing.
So if you were to pick with sight and hearing, you'll pick your hearing and not your sight?
I think I would have to stick with hearing, yes, because you can feel around, and if you're in a particular environment, you know where things are placed. Mm-hmm. For instance, persons who have become blind, they would know where things are in their house, different sorts of things, and you can always learn Braille. Mm-hmm. But with hearing, can you really learn something else after that? No, you can't.
No.
Once your hearing is gone.
Well, you can read lips. And I think when you lose one sense, the others become so sharp that you could surprise yourself. I think I want my sight, boy. You can't live without the sight. I can't live without the sight. To the persons that do that, I'm amazed, because in my former work, I was leading someone to their seat, and she'd be like, "You can relax, you're nervous." And I'm like, "Really?" She'd be like, "Yeah, you're tense." I said, "Well, I'm just trying my best to ensure that you don't bump anywhere." She said, "No, I'm not gonna bump. I'm okay, you just relax." And then I relaxed, and she said, "You see, you relax now." So her senses were very sharp for somebody that couldn't see.
Increased.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's what they usually say. So if I lose my ability to walk, although that's not a sense, is it?
No. No. We just have to shove around in a wheelchair.
So with that thought, we'll end this segment. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Good Morning SKN.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Let's avoid overloading our healthcare systems. This means simultaneously protecting yourselves and your loved ones from all disease, including mosquito-borne illness like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya viruses. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases. This message is brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN Kortensia. Today is Throwback Tuesday.
So we throw it back, bring it back. Yeah.
Bringing you right back to another week. And so today we are traveling back in time to talk about obsolete technology. You know, the technology that we don't use anymore because it become outdated.
We're fancier now. So we're moving forward. Yeah.
So let's have a look at something that was way back then.
Oh, I missed that. Oh,
I remember
I actually missed that.
Yes, those were the computers that we used at
You were
first.
excited to just be in front of your big fat screen.
Yeah, because at the time it was something new to people like me. When I went to university, I won't say how long ago that was, but yeah, those were the kind of computers we had. And you know, you'd be in front of this and you feel so good because
you felt
in
so
St. Kitts,
important.
yes, in St. Kitts, I didn't have access to computers. The biggest technology for me when I was in St. Kitts before I went to study was the electric typewriter.
Yep.
And you're so when I got to university, shout out to all the UVI Massive. We got under the computer and we were like, you had to type your assignments and everything, and it had to be in the computer lab because of course I couldn't afford one, right? So in the computer lab you did your assignments and you had to wait your turn sometimes and that kind of stuff. But
So what is the first thing you did on the computer?
An assignment. I think it was a paper. Yeah, we had to do a paper. I can't remember which subject it was, but yeah.
So you had training prior to going on the computer, since you said that would have been the first time you would have had access to a physical computer?
Nope.
So you just went on and did your assignment?
And asked the person next to me, how do you do this? I guess, yeah, the first few people who sat next to me were probably bothered.
The first thing I did on a computer that was at high school with my teacher, Mr. Richards. Hi, Mr. Richards. Was type sentences. That's what we were taught. And as I said, you felt so important, like, oh my God, I'm on a computer. With the blue light and everything. No, blue light is a problem. Imagine then we weren't taught the blue light was a problem, but now blue light is a problem.
Yeah, and we have those screens that you can put over the front of the computer screen or the glasses to
deflect the blue light.
As technology advances,
The computer. So, dial-up internet. Oh, that was annoying. I remember you have to plug it out from this device to that device. Oh, annoying.
And you said,
I know, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You got the song correct. Do you remember the song? You got the song correct? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it had a starting sound and then it was, and actually I used to enjoy the song. You saw me sing?
You got the sound on point.
Because it showed that you were connected. So if you didn't hear the song, then you're like, hey, what's wrong with this internet?
Wrong. Something's wrong.
No, you just
you don't
press
hear
a button.
Thing.
I know.
You just see everything blinking, so you know it's working. Yeah.
Once you turn the computer on, you expect the internet to pop up. Imagine that.
Viewers, do you remember the sound? That's good. That's my co-host.
Here's the sound again.
That's exactly the sound.
Just to make your day a little more annoying.
The slide projector.
Yeah.
Now we got the one, so we just press the remote and change. No more slides. Just press the remote and change.
And you know they used to have a sound when the slide changed. It
click. Yeah, because the next one's coming in. like film in a camera. Yes. The next one's coming in. Yeah. Oh man.
Those were the days, and you had to you either rented or something just to get this slide projector in, and you had to make sure the slides were prepared and
exactly, and in the correct order.
In the correct order.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to worry about things like that.
I'm just loving how you remember all the sounds.
Yeah, you see why I don't want to lose my hearing?
You got a point. You have a point. The fact that you remember the sounds, I get it.
That's a part of my sensory perception.
I understand.
A very important part. I like sounds.
So can we have the next? Ooh.
Portable DVD player.
Like I was asking somebody the other day, he says he still sells DVDs for people to watch. I have not seen a DVD player, so where do we put them now? In the personal computer that we no longer have? We have laptops.
Yeah, we have laptops.
But then maybe we could slide out the side and put it in the laptop. So maybe that's why DVDs are still.
Yeah. They're still,
but they're not so big like before.
They're not happening, but there are some devices that still allow you to use them. Yeah. But I can't think of a sound for that.
No, that didn't have a sound. I just put in click.
Only if it was bad, then you hear.
No, I don't know. I gave up watching TV a while, so I really don't know how the DVD sounded. My mom watched DVDs religiously. I swear she still have a box of them somewhere in the house. Because she liked the African movies when they were big. Oh my God, those annoying songs.
That's nice. So that means she can, if she's willing to part with them, she could make some money from the Antiques Roadshow.
Maybe. But no. Yeah. So do we have the next device that we no longer use or is no longer? Ooh.
The Walkman.
Jamie. Remember Jamie?
Yeah,
he had a
Walkman.
And the cassettes
about having a Walkman.
Yeah, and the cassettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the Walkman, it was an upgrade in technology because you had your cassettes, you would have had to put them in your stereo.
Well,
right? Or
your
radio, because some of the radios actually had the area for the cassette. But then the Walkman was an upgrade.
You walk with your radio.
You walk with your music.
Yeah, but you walk with your radio. This is a Walkman. You walking with your radio. I'm walking with my
radio. I wonder why they called it man. Why didn't they say something like radio walk or something like that?
No.
But they called it
everything else they connote to a woman. So that's good. Walkman. Walkman. If you look at it in those terms, Walkman. Walkman. Go Walkman. Yeah, go Walkman.
Okay,
yeah. So maybe
walk with your music, go.
Walk with your music, go. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think about.
Sounds logical.
And then cassettes became obsolete because we had to rewind when they come out. But the good thing is we could have fixed them ourselves. Look at that. Technology was so nice and easy then. And then we got the CD player.
Right.
So we started walking with our CD players. We felt important with these big things in our hands.
But you didn't let me make the sound for Walkman.
But what was the Walkman?
When your cassette.
Yeah.
You used to go,
yeah, and then
I made the cassette mash up because everything inside wrap up.
But then the thing is, as I said, we took our pens and we took our diligent time and we rewound
put
them.
it back in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until eventually you see that some part of the film start looking like it's worn out.
Yes. And then you hear when they play the music playing, you hear. And do you know that today these young people actually slow down certain types of music? I am amazed at the things that we used to say, oh, that's negative because our cassette is pulling out. So that means the cassette not working because the sound is slowing down. Now they're purposely slowing down music.
And they reverse it, if you realize. So see, technology prepared them for such a time as now.
Yeah. Wow.
So what else songs do we have? Ooh,
yeah.
Click.
I had me some of those.
Rewound.
No, I'm the sound expert.
Okay.
It's like
and then rewind. Skirk.
Yeah, and then you had to do it back around.
Listen. That's it.
And do you remember how you were able to get your film developed?
Yeah, take it to the lab.
You had to take
put it back in the
camera. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it had the ones where you take it out.
Oh yes, take it out.
You put it back in the kind of a canister, and then you take it to the photo studio. My gosh, we went through a lot.
And yeah, so it was either the whole camera or the roll of film. I just said put it back in and then you take it to get it developed.
Listen, and then up came, what do you call them, digital cameras, and now even those are obsolete. Who uses the digital camera now other than a photographer? Remember, everybody got the small, everybody got the camera, so you could have seen the pictures up. I had about 3 of them. I don't know where none of them are.
But you know, I was making a comeback. Those kind of cameras where you get the picture instantly. You take the picture and it slides out.
Yeah.
They were in when they first came out, and then I realized a couple years ago they made a comeback.
Yeah, they're coming.
I'm like, I can't remember the name.
Cause that I'm trying
Polaroid.
Polaroid, yeah.
And they came back in several years ago. I'm like, what? But of course they don't look the same way like the initial version.
No, and they're smaller.
Right? They're more modernized.
They're smaller. They have a little printer. At my sister's wedding, her photographer was giving some of us instant printouts, and it's a tiny Polaroid he had and a small little printer, and we were getting our pictures. Yeah,
nice. Fax machine.
Oh my God, those big things.
Facsimile. the correct.
Those are big.
Big word. Yes.
Those are big.
And
all
cute. Offices had facsimile machines.
The sound.
Oh, the sound. Oh,
since you're so
how did it? It was. Oh, it used to be like printing. You'd heard like it.
Yeah.
It sounded.
Yeah. This.
Line by line.
But then it had a
yes, it had a at the end. Yes.
Like, oh my God, a fax is coming true.
And all offices had them. So what you'd find in the, I think some of them might still actually be in the phone directory. You have the phone number
and the fax. Yeah, but the fax machines are cuter now. They're cuter now, they're quieter, no noise. So
no noise.
You have to make sure you look over to see that you get a fax, because I don't think physically you will hear you getting a fax, because everything is more peaceful for the workplace. Yeah. Mental clarity.
Yes, yes. As we were told by Kevin Hope, yes, definitely.
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
So there we have it today for everything that we remember in technology, including the sound. A sound effects lady.
By me.
Yeah. So tell us, what memories did those items bring back for you? And stick and stay. We will be right back after this short commercial break.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care of yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans, such as lentils and kidney beans, contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. Today is World Asthma Day. This day is all about raising awareness and helping to improve the lives of the many people around the world who suffer from asthma, a common but potentially life-threatening ailment. Wow. So did you know that millions of people all over the world suffer from asthma? Are you aware?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. Do you know anyone that suffers from asthma?
Yes, I have relatives who suffer from asthma, so it's, and if my memory serves me correctly, it affects persons with melanin more. So you find that black people have asthma. A high percentage of black people have asthma.
I know my brother and sister, they do have it, but it's not like life-threatening. But it rears its head now and then.
Right, and sometimes there are certain triggers for it. So it could be things like allergies, it could be external environmental factors, smoke and things like that. So that's why you find even when they're doing like the fogging for mosquitoes, they'll say persons with asthma should really not be in the area. So once they get the information that your community is being fogged, you should go somewhere else until the health personnel advise persons to open the doors so that the smoke could come in to kill the mosquitoes. So they actually advise to leave their house for a certain period of time.
So you're gonna fog in St. Peter, so that means I should come to Bastille until you're done fogging. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not good for them.
Shouldn't it be an easier way where I can just keep myself in a locked room just for a few minutes until the smoke is gone?
Then the mosquitoes can stay there.
No, we just bop them out. Did you know that approximately 180,000 deaths annually are attributed to asthma? No.
I did not know that either.
Wow.
Although I did know someone who died from an asthma attack or died following or due to an asthma attack.
I didn't know it was that much, but I've heard people dying from asthma attacks.
Actually 3, come to think of it.
Wow. So they didn't have their inhaler, or?
It was just severe attacks.
Oh, wow. So here are some of the common signs and symptoms of asthma: shortness of breath, chest tightness or pain, wheezing when exhaling, so very common in children, trouble sleeping caused by shortness of breath, coughing or wheezing attacks that are worsened by respiratory virus such as a cold or a flu.
So that means persons who have asthma have to be very careful, because something as simple as a cold or flu can actually cause that. And
backed up.
Do you know the old-time remedy for asthma?
No, tell me. Vicks?
No, I think everybody uses Vicks. Lizard soup and cobweb.
Like the actual cobweb from the...
Yep.
Ew. You serious? This sounds like an Addams Family thing. And lizard? The actual lizard?
Soup and cobweb. And I think there are some persons who actually
You mean the lizard that runs on the ground? This sounds like a witch's brew.
My dear, but sometimes when the old people tell you something, it's because they've gotten some sort of good effect from it.
So they're gonna get me to drink lizard and
Listen,
cobweb.
if you're very sick in those days, you tried what they said to try. Because remember, they didn't have the technology.
Okay,
And
so that was their form of nursing, lizard soup and cobweb.
No, that was their home remedy. Not necessarily nursing, because they would do things like, what they say, rub you down with soft candle wax and all kind of things like that.
Yeah. They made us swallow Vicks too. It's funny enough that we're alive.
Swallow Vicks? Okay, I haven't heard of that
You've
one.
never experienced swallowing Vicks?
No. Nope.
Yeah, I've swallowed many Vicks in my life. I just thought it helped.
Because that was what they used to do when you had the wheezing. They didn't even use the term. Right. They did for asthma. I'm talking about. They didn't even use the term asthma in those days. They just said, "Oh boy, she was up last night with the wheezing."
Yeah.
So I guess that is why they have the term there, wheezing. But it's only later on, that they would use the term
asthma.
And then we have technology to assist us with.
Yeah, now you got your inhalers, all these fancy things.
So guys, you don't have to drink lizard soup and cobweb anymore.
No, you can even drink some black coffee. I was taught when I was flying for Liat that you can drink strong black coffee, or you can, if your inhaler is not available, someone can get you to lie on a flat surface that expands your lungs, and then they rub in circular motions in the middle of your back. So those are the, how should I put it, the today treatments.
The first response kind of things, yes.
This is if your inhaler is not available, because once you have your inhaler, use it immediately, because that can help calm the symptoms that you're experiencing.
And then after that, go up to the hospital or get some sort of medical attention
straight to the hospital. Straight. That's
because as we've noted that they can be fatal. So it's very important to address asthma attacks immediately.
So the frequency of asthma symptoms vary from person to person. Patients may have infrequent asthma attacks, have symptoms only at certain times, or have symptoms all the time.
Wow, all the time.
I'm thanking God for how He made me. As I said, the only thing I'm allergic to is myself. Because I can only empathize.
Allergy attacks, it can trigger them. And so it's also important to find out your triggers, things that can bring on an asthma attack.
Because a panic attack can turn into an asthma attack if the person is asthmatic, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's something that some persons have to deal with on a daily basis. So it's basically monitoring. You monitor, and if it's a child, then you have to monitor the child. So you have to alert your school that your child goes to. You also have to make sure that you alert each individual teacher, because as a mother, what I've found sometimes is that the message is not passed along.
Yeah, so you have to do it yourself.
So every time your child goes up into a different class, have a discussion with that specific class teacher so that they are aware that their child can have an asthma attack and that you should be alerted immediately. Right? And some parents are so good at knowing the attacks that they can actually listen to the child's back, and they'll be able to know
I'm wondering
what's
how can
going
they
on.
hear without a stethoscope? Like, how can you hear?
They hear.
I guess I won't know. Until I'm a parent, I won't know the signs and symptoms of many things, right?
Many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
there's a lot to know when you're a parent. I guess at least you can
and
tell
a lot
me that.
to discover, because it's only as you go along and certain things happen that you realize. I can give you a direct example. Nosebleeds. That's my children.
Okay.
And the first time I experienced one, I was like shocked, because it was not just like the regular nosebleed. You could just take a paper
and tap it. It was running.
It was like mouth and nose.
Okay.
So it was
what was your initial response to that? So did you tell them to lean back so the blood could run back? Because they're not supposed to do that.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Just lean forward.
Fortunately, I didn't do that.
Good
I
stuff,
was just
good
like,
stuff.
I tried to get stuff together to get to the hospital. Because I didn't know what it was. I didn't expect that much.
But why though? Why does that happen?
They don't know.
I was trying
it's also something you just have to deal with.
A phenomenon.
So it's asthma. It's something that parents have to deal with, and as I said, once parents realize that something is happening, they adapt accordingly.
Yeah.
And so it's important to let the teachers know what to do, as Kortensia has just reminded us that with the asthma, what you said, you lay them
You
flat.
lay them on something, no, like a desk. So if the child is seated, they can go on the desk.
Oh, so upper body.
Yeah, so that the lungs expand, and then you rub the middle of the back in circular motion.
Okay.
And what if it's a little kid? We don't want to give them coffee, right? Because they don't want them being hype all day. But coffee is a drink that the older folks can use. Yeah.
And of course, seek medical attention.
And always have your inhaler if you're asthmatic. Please keep it close. Please keep it close.
And if these symptoms become more frequent and bothersome, that is a key sign that the asthma is worsening. Some other signs of worsening asthma are increasing difficulty breathing, the need to use a quick relief inhaler more often.
It's about to
So
flare up.
yeah, so once you realize it's increasing, then you know something needs to be done. And asthma can flare up or be induced in certain situations, such as exercise-induced flare-up. It may become worse when air is cold or dry. So let's look at that one. Exercise. I think I remember seeing several athletes who say that they just monitor their asthma, including persons who run. Sprint. It's just a matter of knowing yourself. So once you're no longer a child, then you take personal responsibility for your health in all aspects. And in terms of persons who are asthmatic, that involves knowing what to do. Knowing, for example, if you're about to exercise and you realize that you're not breathing properly and so forth, that
or where you exercise too, because with the air, to exercise in an AC gym, there's a problem right there. Because it's cold and it's dry, so outside. So although you're sweating, your body is still hydrating itself, you're drinking your water and you're being fine. So we really have to look at the environment as well.
Good. All right, and in terms of your occupation, it can be triggered by workplace irritants such as chemical fumes, gases, or dust. Okay, so it can be
the workplace.
Flare up. Yeah, it can cause it to flare up.
The workplace is serious.
So there again is work and safety, as we discussed with Mr.
Health
Hope.
and
It's
safety,
bringing it right back again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because the person in charge of the workplace has to make sure that everything
they're aware of their employees, as you said,
and
the various ailments that they may carry. So,
as well as once it's discovered that one of the employees have a condition, that you make
the necessary
appropriate changes. Yes,
for them.
That is important.
So
go ahead.
No, I was going to close it out. So ladies and gentlemen, there we have it for discussion on asthma today. We hope it was informative to you as it was to us. We will be right back after this, a brief break.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen?
Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
I eat some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Welcome back. And we have our final segment here on Good Morning SKN, where we let you know what's happening. And so first off, we have a beauty entrepreneurship training. Are you thinking of becoming an entrepreneur in the beauty industry or gaining further knowledge in beauty? The Small Enterprise Development Unit, in collaboration with the Taiwan ICDF, is hosting a 2-week beauty entrepreneurship training seminar. It will run from Monday 9th May to Friday 20th May at the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union Conference Room, Chapel Street, Nevis, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. The registration deadline is tomorrow, the 4th of May. So register today while you still have a chance. All applicants must have a laptop or tablet for technical sessions and a skin shade foundation and facial powder for practical sessions. So they're telling you have to come along with
bring your stuff.
Right? Additional registration details can be found on the Facebook page SBDC, Small Business Development Center Nevis. Go out and get a proper blend of academic and industry expertise. So, what do you say?
I like how they incorporate blend.
And they told you what to walk before. So you have to know how to blend.
Exactly.
You have to blend in the practical sessions.
As somebody was saying, please never walk out of your house casket ready. Never walk.
Casket ready.
Yeah.
What a choice of words.
Yeah, so always make sure you blend. Do not come out casket ready because you know when you die, your blood is no longer in you. So the makeup doesn't match.
Pale?
Yeah,
Okay,
so don't come out
my.
casket ready, okay?
That's the first time I heard that one. Oh my.
We continue with the CFBC admissions open. The Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College admissions for the 2022-2023 academic period are now open and will end on the 31st July 2022. The application process cost for early submission is a mere 35 EC. CFBC has a wide range of programs in the following divisions: health sciences, teacher education, technical, vocational education and management studies, art, science and general studies, and adult and continuing education. Prospective students can access the application via the college website www.cfbc.edu.kn. So that website once again, it's www.cfbc.edu.kn. For more information, contact the office of the registrar at admissions@cfbc.edu.kn. Yeah, so time to sign up. Sometimes I really feel I need to go back to school.
You already said you wanted a do-over.
A do-over, yeah. So every time I see these things, it's like I'm ready. I'm ready.
But you know, do pay attention, viewers, because there are certain sectors, divisions that they can get full. Mm-hmm. So now is the time to submit your applications. Yeah. For example, culinary arts. Mm-hmm. That's one of the divisions that they have limited spaces, and that is specific to the fact that we are now in a COVID environment. Yeah. And so they have reduced the number of spaces available for courses like that. And I'm sure that's not the only course. Yeah. So do pay attention and do be aware of stuff like that.
Please be. Mm-hmm. Is that time already, right?
Yes, it is.
So we say thank you for joining us today. Remember to follow us on all of our social media platforms, mainly Facebook, Instagram, and at Studio 327 Inc. Like, subscribe, follow us, and always remember to share. To share.
Yes, and leave us a comment. And let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you start your mornings with us.
Right here at Good Morning SKN. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.